Sean, it is your turn. Why are you taking so long?
Terry, please, I'm trying to focus. I'm about to claim victory here.
But Sean, you are losing. Very badly, I might add. I have monopolies on almost all of the city blocks. You cannot hope to win here.
Excuse me, I'm actually completely destroying you here. I have a monopoly on World 1-2.
But that's just one property.
Yeah, and it's called quality over quantity, Terry. Learn it.
That's not how a monopoly works, Sean.
Terry, please, I'm about to roll here. Ha! Yahtzee!
That is a different game entirely.
And thus I call A1, and I believe I have sunk your battleship.
Again, that game has no relation to Monopoly. You seem to have no clue what you are doing.
Terry, what are you talking about? Obviously, Colonel Mustard did it in the kitchen with the dagger.
Are you going through all of this trouble just to evade your loss?
I love that sound.
I see what you are doing here and I am not amused.
And... checkmate.
Sean, do you have any idea how a board game even works?
Do I know how a board game works? Come on. I mean, clearly you just, drop 4 cards and, call Uno?
Sean.
Okay, I admit it. I've never even played a board game before. I've never even seen one until today.
Sean, that is truly tragic. I knew your lack of friends was an issue, but this is clearly worse than I thought.
Terry, you just don't understand. I grew up an only child. When my friends weren't around, I usually just played video games or something. I never got a chance to play any board games at all.
Are you certain? You've never even touched them before?
Well, except Mario Party. Actually. Yeah, you know what? I got an idea. Let's play Mario Party. Man, I used to play that game all the time as a kid. All of them. I own the entire series. I used to sit in my room all day, playing all the boards, unlocking all the mini-games, getting all the stars. Oh man, it was so much fun.
Wait, let me get this straight. You've played every single Mario Party game?
Yep.
By yourself? Alone?
Yeah.
With absolutely no friends at all?
Yeah?
You know, while I would love to partake in this merriment, I'm afraid I have better things to do.
Oh yeah? Like what?
A woman. You should probably go talk to one sometime.
Okay, that's it. You're going in the mousetrap cage.
No, wait. Sean, this is quite a
Get a load of this guy, am I right?
I object to
Who
this.
needs him?
You cannot
Come on,
do this.
folks.
I am a
We got
sedimentary
work to
rock
do.
and I have rights too. I will call the police. You will hear from my rock lawyer in rock court. I will not stand for this. Are you even listening? Sean, please just let me out. I can't do this.
Hello everyone, my name is Seananigans. I am 26 years old, and more often than not, I have played every single Mario Party game by myself. Listen, when you're a kid living in the mid-2000s with no internet or social media, you always kind of have to rely on yourself for entertainment, party games included. Bless my parents, they tried their best, but unfortunately, they were just never gamers. Outside of Animal Crossing, I guess. And I don't know if this needs to actually be said, but they have indeed played a board game or two with me before.
Somehow, I doubt that.
Hey Terry, is that the sound of my metamorphic rock converter machine running?
I yield.
Good. Anyway, as you can tell, I have a long history with this series. The first 2 Mario games I ever played was Super Mario 64 and Mario Party. Yeah, believe it or not, Mario Party is one of the first starts I had with Mario games. Up until this point, I owned a PlayStation, and while it was fun in its own right, I quickly learned that Mario was king, and Mario Party was one of the catalysts behind that. I have played every single Mario Party game to date, all of them.
Even the poopy ones?
Especially the poopy ones, and don't worry, we'll get to all of them in time. This is going to be a bit of a marathon series where I go back and I recount my experiences with the Mario Party series as an only child. With the exception of the 3DS games, I unfortunately have no way of capturing the 3DS, so we're just gonna bypass those for now. Maybe someday, but for now, this is Mario Party 1 on the N64.
Did you know that board game video games have a plot? Because, believe it or not, almost every Mario Party game has one. They're about as deep as a puddle and just serve a little purpose in the grand scheme of things, but for the single player like me...
Hi, hello, how you doing?
I honestly will take anything I can get to feel like this experience was intended for me and feel less alone in this world. Existentialism aside, here's the plot summary. The game starts out with the Mario cast gathered together in some random forest debating the most vital and important political issues of their time. You may think they're discussing whether or not the hierarchy of Peach's government is providing a good enough quality of life for her citizens. Trust me, I think Yoshi was inspired by Marie Antoinette here. But no, they're just arguing over who's the superstar, the best of the best, the ultimate hero. I mean, it's this guy, right? Luigi might come as a close second, followed by Yoshi, but let's be real here. Do we really think Wario deserves the title? Or Donkey Kong? And then Peach here has the absolute nerve to complain she's the superstar, despite the fact that up until this point, she has done nothing but be kidnapped by Bowser. We must overthrow the tyrannical government and make way for the working class! I mean, look at Mario here, even he looks dumbfounded. Toad steps in and decides to be the neutral party like the absolute coward he is, and says that in order to become the superstar, you must display strength, courage, wisdom, and kindness. And they can prove it by going on some random adventure to an undisclosed location. Then everybody runs off with enthusiasm, although I'm not certain if they even realize where they're going. Just look at poor Mario here, I feel for him. He just looks so confused and hurt. I mean, he's done all the heavy lifting up until this point. Like, guys, really, I just saved Peach's castle from an eternal takeover. Are you really doing this? It's probably why he runs past everybody into the pipe. He's definitely pissed. Out of the way, bitches! Well, apparently, going on an adventure to prove you're the superstar translates to playing a giant board game and throwing yourself in life-threatening situations just to gain currency and purchase stars. The rules of Mario Party are simple. Everybody rolls a die, land on a space, and then play a minigame depending on what space everybody lands on. Whoever wins a minigame gets 10 coins. Whoever gets to the star first with 20 coins gets a star, and the person with the most stars and or coins at the end is crowned the winner. Landing on a blue space nets you 3 coins, while landing on a red takes away 3 coins. Landing on the green happening spaces will trigger a board-specific event. The mushroom space makes you roll a roulette. If you get a super mushroom, you get an additional roll. If you get a poison mushroom, you lose a turn. If you land on the Bowser space, Bowser appears to ruin your day, because you know he's a fan of communism. If you land on the minigame space, you're subjected to a one-player minigame, which... we'll get back to those. And last but not least, chance time. A space that will either benefit you greatly, or ruin your entire game. Again, we'll get back to this one. After every turn, all 4 players participate in a minigame. Most are 4-player games, but there are also 2v2 and 3v1 minigames if anyone lands in a red space. There aren't very many of these, to be honest with you. In fact, the game is very tame on the red spaces. You will rarely, if ever, land on one of these, so the variety here is actually pretty subpar. Most of the time, you will be in a free-for-all, and thus you will tend to see the same minigames over and over again. Most of my recordings here have the same 5 to 10 minigames throughout, and rarely did I ever encounter anything different. Back in the day, I didn't mind this much, I was just a dumb kid having fun, but now that I'm familiar with every game in the series, I can see where the growing pains were in the first game. And to boot, most of these games are not skill-based. There are a few here and there, but again, they rarely pop up and will likely not factor in any victory you may achieve. Indeed, while winning the majority of minigames will give you a better chance at winning, you are absolutely at the mercy of the hands of the dice block and the game's RNG. You may scoff to yourself and think, well duh man, it's Mario Party, of course it's luck-based, but I feel as if future games negated this a bit by introducing elements such as items, more board events, and more variety in the minigames. It was still random, but a little finesse and extensive knowledge could also save your ass. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. The point is, the original Mario Party's reliance on pure luck is its most frustrating quality. When playing Mario's Rainbow Castle on my first run, I wasn't able to get any stars because the computers kept either landing on happening spaces, which turns Toad around to Bowser right before I got to him, or this bullshit happens. See that? That was a warp block. Yeah, if the dice roll wasn't random enough for you, Mario Party offers a bunch of modifiers you can use. Want a warp block to randomly appear to warp you to a random spot right before you're about to get a star? Well, here you go.
I can taste your delicious salt from here.
I'll turn you into salt.
What was that?
Nothing.
Just turn this shit off. You don't need a dice block that randomly cuts your roll in half, nor one that just randomly gives you high rolls. It's not worth it. It will always screw you over. Now, if these were items you could pick up and use at will, maybe this could be awesome, but hey, what do I know, right? And speaking of pure luck, there is nothing more frustrating, more anxiety-inducing than chance time. Whoever lands on a chance time is subject to turn the entire game on its head. You can make two random players either give each other coins, swap coins, give stars, or swap stars. And whoo boy, let me tell you, being on the receiving end of a star swap when you're in first place is not a good feeling. It is the most bullshit mechanic in this entire series. And if you're playing with computers like I do, they will pick you. They just will. They specifically, maliciously go out of their way to pick you. And out of all the chance times I recorded here, only one didn't involve me, and even less benefited me, meaning 0. None of these events ever went in my favor. The moment any computer landed on chance time, the game was over.
It's almost a narration of life itself. You know, Sean, life isn't fair either. You are rarely if ever granted a clear path forward in this life. You could do your very best, make every effort to do all you possibly could to achieve your goals and still fail. And conversely, someone who puts little effort in, may not even have ever worked a day in their life, could succeed in your place. Perhaps chance time is not a malicious attempt to ruin your merriment in this game. Perhaps it is a lesson in life that you must temper your expectations and be prepared to react to any situation. Be prepared for all the roads you travel, not just the one you are heading on. And to step forward expecting every possibility.
Huh. You know what, Terry? You have a fair point. Tell me, what's your path being a rock and all?
I wish for the sweet embrace of death. However, since I am a rock, I am immortal.
Aw, that's so sad. Tell me, Terry, is there anything I can do?
How about you let me out of this cage?
But Terry, isn't eternal imprisonment of fate worse than death? Surely you want that more.
You little shit.
Expect every possibility.
So Mario Party is luck-based. Boo-hoo, stop whining, I hear you say. Alright, fair enough, I get it. I'm whining about an RNG in a 22-year-old party game for children. Look, everybody has their bad days, mine are just more consistent. We all come for the minigames anyway. That's what everybody remembers the most, right? So how is the quality of the minigames in the first Mario Party? Pretty okay, I guess. Nostalgia makes fools of us all, because going back to this... Yeah, this is pretty bare. But like I said, there isn't much variety here. Out of the 50 minigames, 24 are 4-player, a minuscule 10 are 1v3, and 2v2 only has 5 minigames. 5! That's it! The rest are all 1-player minigames, and for a party game? That's pretty sad. The 1-player minigames are especially grating because the entire pace of the game comes to a screeching halt for whoever's not playing. And if you're like me, you have a 1 in 4 chance of that player not even being a real human. Yes, the game will make you sit there and watch the computer play the minigame, which is just as exciting as watching paint dry. There is no skipping it. All of the one-player games are a pure waste of time. None of them are particularly fun, and they drag on for what seems like ages. There are some gems though. My favorites are Facelift, where you match this picture in the Super Mario 64 inspired minigame, Crazy Cutter, where you jackhammer a living being out of cement, the computers suck at this one, Skateboard Scamper, where you mash the B button as fast as you can to make it to the end, and the granddaddy of them all, the one, the only, Mushroom Mixer! There it is, my favorite minigame in the whole game. Nay, my favorite minigame in the entire series. Toad stands off to the side and raises a colored flag. Whatever color it is the one you have to rush to before the other mushrooms sink. Last one standing wins. Maybe it's nostalgia talking because it's just so fun to screw over your friends by standing in just the right place to make sure they can't make it in time. Or you can place yourself in the way where you can get them to bounce off your head and into the water. It's a visceral feeling that envelops the soul and floods dopamine through my mind like the helpless Mario Party addict that I am. Out of all the games, it's the one I remember the most, and the reason why I can go back to the first entry of the series. It's just that good to me.
In fact, I'm surprised that many people remember this game when they talk about the series. For some reason, it's just never been re-released, and it's forever stuck on the N64. Oh yeah, that's right.
You cannot discuss the original Mario Party without mentioning its biggest misstep, the spin stick minigames. The original Mario Party has an affinity, nay, a fetish, for that hard piece of plastic sticking out of your 3-prong controller that may as well be the devil's pitchfork. They are a handful of minigames, only 5 that require you to spin the stick around repeatedly. And they don't just require you to spin, but spin very, very quickly. Like, inhumanely quickly. And 5 may not seem like a lot, but I swear the game loves putting these types of games back to back. You could have just defeated Boo in Paddle Power, only then to face Paddle Battle for the next minigame.
You see, when designing these games, the developers had the intention of you using your thumb or your finger, but nuh-uh. Fuck that. You didn't achieve greatness by doing it like this or like this, no. You did it with the palm of your hand.
And I'm not just saying this because I'm a competitive Type A only child who still hasn't learned to lose gracefully in his 26 years of life.
Oh, fuck you! No! Are you fucking kidding me with this shit?
No, you have to do it this way if you want even a chance of winning these games. And let me tell you, this hard plastic stick that might as well be a nail going through your hand feels like absolute hell to work with. Just look at the palm of my hand right here. This is legitimately what my palm looked like after I recorded this game for 5 to 6 hours straight. It doesn't hurt too bad luckily, but I did end up irritating my skin to the point where I couldn't lean on this hand at all. This damaged the legacy of this game so much. According to this article from CNET, in 2002, Nintendo faced a civil complaint from the New York General Attorney's Office from parents of children who suffered cuts, punctures, blisters, frictions, and burns from their hands because of the intense joystick movements. One kid apparently even had to receive a tetanus shot. Nintendo offered no refunds or compensation, but instead required these parents to submit an elaborate proof of purchase by calling a hotline so they could receive a glove. Yep, a glove. Just for Mario Party. It wasn't even a Mario glove either. I found this pic from Reddit. It's allegedly the glove that Nintendo shipped to you if you filed the complaint and provided your proof of purchase. It's just this regular ass $5 gem glove. It's so cheap. And whether it's true or not is a mystery since there's no actual documentation on it. Some even speculate whether Nintendo even produced these gloves at all.
And all they had to do to prevent any of this is to just make it so that spinning the stick didn't require too much force. It wasn't that you had to spin the stick to begin with, it's that you had to spin it as fast as humanly possible. And it's such a shame because out of all the games in the entire package, only 5 require you to do this. Such a small, minuscule amount, yet those 5 games ruined everything. Because when you have a shy guy that taunts you for not spinning it fast enough, you are always bound to hear some complaints.
Man, that really bums me out too. Such a prolific game in my life is forever bound to its hardware because of this dumb decision. I really do wonder how nobody even caught it in the testing phase. It boggles the mind. And it's a shame because it was so much fun. For the record, I actually beat this game for the first time while recording this by pure accident. I had no idea of the unlock requirements. I just so happened to play Bowser's Magma Mountain, win, and then this happened. Yeah, Bowser ends up robbing your star bank and takes it to Eternal Star, a board where you must defeat the baby Bowsers in a dice roll-off to get the stars back. Man, I had no idea this was even here, but there you have it. I won and saw the credits of my childhood game for the very first time. You know, as a single player, you really do learn to appreciate all the little touches the game provides to you to keep it engaging. Every board has a bit of lore that is told to you in the beginning, Toad elaborates on it when you get a star, and it is shown to you at the end. Such as how rainbows once shined brightly across Mario's Rainbow Castle but are now gone, only to be revived by the power of the stars. Or how Luigi's engine room has stopped moving, only to move again once you get the star power back, and it turns out it's actually an airship. I never hear anybody talk about these little bits of lore or the story. Probably because they just see it at the surface level as a party game for kids, but as a dumb 5-year-old kid with way too much time on his hands and a lot of imagination, it meant the world to me.
Overall, I would say the original Mario Party is a decent start to the series. Like I said, there were a lot of growing pains to be had, but for a first attempt, bleeding palms aside, it was actually really fun. I may not think it's aged as well as the other games, especially the GameCube games, but like I said, the original Mario Party was instrumental in making me the Mario fan that I am today, and I will always remember it fondly because of that. Now with that being said, this is only the beginning. We got a whole lot more to go through. So next time, join me back for Mario Parties 2 and 3. Yep, a double header. But until then, I am going to improve my gamer score on Mushroom Mix-Up!
Ah, hell yeah! Get in there, Luigi! Get the fuck in there! Fuck you, Peach! Eat shit, Wario, you garlic-loving fuck! I am the king of this mountain, and all shall bow before me! Who the fuck you looking at, Toad?